Друзья мои, всем привет! Практически ничего не произошло. Мы практически не профукали наш марафон. Всего-то навсего одно маленькое воскресеньице пропустили. Никто даже не заметил. Всем привет. Продолжается наш марафон ни дня без стрима. Как раз мы наступили на экватор. На 5-й день из 10. С чем я вас и поздравляю. Продолжим сегодня играть в Synchroncity. Для тех, кто с удивлением умеет считать дни и говорит, что, был же еще какой-то день. Мы же еще играли в Мастера Таверны. А я, кстати, не помню, я выкладывал Мастера Таверны куда-то. И вообще считал ее? Или не считал? Я, наверное, его считал. Ну да, он был 4-м днем. Ну, короче, вообще все гладенько. Я считаю, что все нормально. В воскресенье никто не видел. В воскресенье все отдыхали. Пили чаи, жарили шашлыки, смотрели сериальчики. И я убежден, что никто даже не начал нервничать по поводу того, что меня не было. Все. Проехали. Бывает по-разному. Продолжаем продолжать. Начинаем начинать. Мы закончили на 3-й главе. Значит, в 1-й главе мы выбрались с вами из этой оцепленной территории, где живут некие беженцы. И мечтают о том, чтобы выбраться за эту территорию в надежде, что там будет хорошо в городе, в замечательном городе, где все живут и счастливы. Но во 2-й главе мы туда выбрались, и оказалось, что там ничем не лучше, чем у чуваков, которые сидят внутри, ну, в смысле, за забором. И в 3-й главе, я так понимаю, что мы пройдем куда-то, познакомимся с чем-то еще большим. Пойду налью себе чаечку. Я надеюсь, что мне уже можно его пить. Потому что мне, правда, сказали, 2-3 дня нельзя горячего. Но я уже вчера лопал пельмени. И, в принципе, сегодня уже 3-й день. Подходит к концу. Я убежден, что мне можно попить немножко чайку. Я буду пить его не супер горячим. Таким. Чуть тепленьким. Пойду налью пока. Наверное, стоило вначале все-таки поставить его греться. Водички, что ли, пока себе налить? Ладно, я налью себе все сразу. И водичку, и чаек. А пока немножко с вами посмотрим, что нас там ждет. Потому что мы после окна загрузки даже тут ничего не смотрели. У нас есть несколько квестов. Для тех, кто, может быть, не знает, что у нас там происходит. Нам нужно сфоткать склад с медикаментами. Ой, с горючим. Типа с горючим. Но на самом деле мы туда хотели попасть из-за медикаментов. И есть некая наша подруга Роуз, которая хочет нам что-то рассказать про наше прошлое. А мы вообще без памяти тусуемся. И ей нужен... Ну, она такая тоже поехавшая немножко. И ей нужен младенец с колыбелью. И мы видели младенца, ну, типа куклу младенца, там в костре. Каким-то образом нужно потушить костер и вытащить оттуда куклу. Ну, или просто вытащить куклу. Пока что у нас не хватало ни предметов для этого, ни возможностей. И колыбель. Колыбель мы вроде как сделали. Вот этот вот ящик с железными деталями. Но Роузи говорит, что ей не нравится, что должны ножки быть длиннее. Не знаю, будем ли мы удлинять ножки, или оно и так сойдет, просто какое-то нужно чем-то доработать. Пока непонятно. Но мы открыли для себя вот новую локацию, как минимум. Возможно, тут будет больше, чем одна локация. Это, видимо, выход назад. Хотя, наверное, это проход еще куда-то дальше. Ладно, давайте пока поболтаем с пацанами.
Hey you! What are you doing here? Didn't you hear the curfew warning?
Relax. Look at his wrist. He's got a mole bracelet.
So you're one of those domesticated rats? You people disgust me. At least the rest of the worms at the camp have some dignity. But you guys, the moles, you're nothing more than a pack of treacherous stool pigeons.
No doubt, I have a great paragon of dignity before me. My hatred for these pigs has only grown. And more so since the incident at the camp entrance with the mole's children. Ruthless bastards. I just want to ask you guys a few questions.
Few questions.
Do you know what the establishment was before the Great Wave?
I can't say I do. I lived on the other side of town. But judging from what's left, I'd say it looks like it was a bookstore. Looks like it burned down to the ground after the Great Wave.
Well, I for one am glad that nest of bookworms was destroyed. I never liked books. They always were a total waste of time.
Is that right? At first glance, I would have taken you for someone with refined literary tastes.
I think that description fits you to a T.
Watch your mouth, you dirty rat! And don't think that bracelet would protect you. I could blow your head off without batting an eyelid. Don't forget who's in charge here.
Да, клевый чел. Пойду чайку налью. Сейчас вернусь. Ох, водичка на месте, чаек на месте. Можно кайфовать. Почему вы здесь стоите?
Why are you posted here?
Just following orders. Rat, we're here to protect and serve the inhabitants of this city. That's our mission.
Yes, I can see how the people feel much safer with you around.
We're doing our nightly rounds, and we have orders to keep a particular eye on this neighborhood.
And why this neighborhood in particular?
Well, as you can see, this area of the city was left almost intact after the Great Wave. It was kind of a miracle. Most of the homes and businesses are still standing, so burglary attempts are pretty popular. If there's anything left in the city worth guarding, it's here.
You ask a lot of questions. Have you come to steal something, rat?
No, of course not. With officers of the law like you, I'd never dare do anything like that.
I wouldn't provoke my partner too much if I were you. He's plenty jumpy today, and he's sometimes rather unpredictable.
And as for you, blabbermouth, I'd watch my tongue if I were you. How I am is nobody's business. And you, get back to your nest, rat.
Я всегда считал, что толстые добрые, а худые злые. Тут почему-то игра прям противоречит моему знанию жизни.
So how's the night going?
Very quiet, except for a shooting at the entrance to the city a few hours ago. I think someone tried to steal some food. And when that happens, you have to act decisively. That's our duty.
It would be a fantastic night if it wasn't for those revolting cats. This damn neighborhood is infested with them.
Cats?
My partner doesn't like cats, and tonight they've been howling non-stop since we started our rounds.
Filthy creatures, dirty and pestilent. They're to blame for everything.
I won't bother you anymore. Keep up the good work.
Ну, не то чтобы они нам чем-то помогли.
The only light source for the area is hanging from this wooden post, and the tangle of cables and shoddy connections up there speaks eloquently of the quality and condition of the installation.
0 из 10 же. Приятно, острова. Нормально, нормально. Экватор. Мы достигли экватора.
In the old world, this building would have already been condemned and demolished as a ruin. But in the new world, it's got to be one of the best preserved I've seen in the city.
Как себя чувствуешь лучше? Ну, да, наверное. На самом деле, скорее нет, чем да. Вся проблема в том, что протез, который я сегодня надел на швы, ну, то есть швам не понравилось, что я надел на них протез.
Someone put this empty tin can on top of
Ну,
one of the trash
одну
cans.
таблетку я
Up
сегодня
close,
съел
it
днем.
looks like there are crumbs of dried
Не могу
food
сказать, что
stuck to
прям
the
на
bottom.
бейсболах, но сажал, потому что уж больно не мог сконцентрироваться на работе. Надо подождать и снять швы. Ну, я проконсультировался, типа, я спросил, можно ли носить протез. И мне хирург сказал, что да, можешь. Ну, типа, через пару дней. Соответственно, с субботы, понедельник, это как раз прошла пара дней. Но удовольствия я не получил. Есть вообще не стал. Я подумал, что если я еще попытаюсь поесть совсем, то будет прям не очень. Лучше знать, я точно не эксперт, просто чтобы сильно... не сильно... Но мне не понравилось. Честно говоря, мне не понравилось. Я с большим удовольствием пришел домой и снял. И даже сейчас без протеза. Не буду поэтому широко улыбаться. Но снял с большим удовольствием.
Those two pigs seem to be watching that entrance very intently. They probably
Ну,
pumped me
будем
full of
живы, не
lead
умрем.
before I got a chance
Не
to turn
думаю,
the
что что-то
doorknob.
страшное может со мной произойти. Мне вот интересно, я 25-го в четверг иду к хирургу в ближайший раз. И меня волнует вопрос, он будет мне швы снимать в четверг? Или он просто на меня посмотрит? Может, типа, за 5 дней зажить рано до того, что, типа, тебе снимают швы? Или это звучит мало вероятно?
Judging from the traces of food, I say that this can was being used as a bowl to feed stray cats
Сюда-
in a city of ruins.
сюда мы положим
Only someone
рыбу.
acquainted with one of these animal lovers knows that they're capable of things like this, and much more.
Сюда мы положим рыбу. Заблокированная дверь.
I don't think I'm going to be able to open it that way.
Ну, открой ее чем-нибудь.
The sign says, Emergency Exit, Beechwood Oracle Bookstore. Do not block. Well, it seems that in spite of the warning, this door is indeed blocked. And now, I no longer have the slightest doubt as to the name of the establishment. Doesn't look like it's going to be complicated to open this door with the crowbar. Done.
А зачем было столько слов?
No. Computers are a deplorable waste of time, and the hardware you're trying to use got wrecked in the Great Wave. This screen doesn't look any better than the rest of the place. The fire turned it into a glob of plastic and glass.
В дальнейшем
and
стриме
there's
я
nothing
показываюсь
left
на
that the
20 часа,
computer
если
was
еще будешь
connected
стримить,
to.
напишу. Давай, заглядывай.
Burnt
Как обычно,
paper.
поможешь нам,
The
когда мы
whole
будем в
place is full
тупике.
of it. Hey, wait! One of these posters has a photograph of Reverend Blake on it. The Beechwood Oracle Bookstore invites you to a reading of The Annihilation of Time, where you can meet the book's author, Edward Blake. That explains why that deranged preacher had the card from this place in his pocket.
Так, значит, я немножко подзабыл, но вот сейчас постепенно вспоминаю, что у нас у этого проповедника была визитка с этим оракулом, и к нам в бреду приходила девочка, которая тоже нам говорила что-то про этого оракула.
I don't have a good feeling about the deep red of the cover. I'm not going to take one. I don't have a good...
Получил ачивку просто за то, что нажал на книжку.
I don't have a... They're what's left of the cinema section. Only a couple of biographies survived the fire. Let's see. Dario Argento and John Carpenter.
Шутку не понял. Наверное, здесь была какая-то шутка, но я ее не понял.
I don't need to look through these pages. I've already seen the horror out there.
Книжки брать не хочет. А доски взял. А доски, может быть, как раз...
Let's see. I'll use the rusty nails to attach these two objects together.
Ну все. Сбацали колыбель.
Using tons of imagination, we can say that I've built an improvised and primitive cradle. Oh God, it's horrible.
По-моему, великолепно.
No, I doubt there's anything in these stories that could surprise me. Dystopia. Could be the city's last name.
От книжек отказался от всех. Мы нашли несколько видов книг. И книги в порядке, и обугленные книги, и просто кучу книг. И от всего он отказался. Ладно, поехали внутрь. Угу. И это пожарная лестница с выходом на крышу или что?
They crisscross the building facade from top to bottom. And from what I've seen, this system of staircases is used only on the oldest buildings in the city.
И чё? Какая...
It reigns over the building with its crown of twisted antennas and broken air conditioners. On the rim, there's a shiny object. Although at this distance, I can't make out what it is.
И как мне туда подняться, простите?
Hey, wait a minute. Who the hell's over there?
I don't see anything.
Look at that building. I saw something moving in that shadow on that wall.
I think you're a little paranoid tonight. I told you to relax. Come on, take a deep breath.
Shut up! I bet it was one of those cats. All this is because of those pestilent beasts that have been bothering us since we got here. I couldn't stand them.
I better not let those two psychopaths down there see me. I should be very careful.
Ну, то есть мы не сможем подняться, пока здесь стоят мужики. Ну, окей. Ну, сейчас мы что-то сделаем с котами. Значит, с рыбой. Ага, там как раз висят коты. Окей.
But what is your problem with cats?
Those cats are to blame for everything. They're what brought the disease to the city.
Какой хейтер кошек-то? Откуда он такой взялся?
Here we go again. I've told you 1,000 times. That's nonsense.
Of course it's not nonsense. I heard it from the friend of a friend who works in a research center.
Those poor creatures aren't to blame for anything.
Shut your face, you worm. You see that? It's comical. Rats defending cats. The world's been turned upside down.
Yes, it is comical. Cats being chased by pigs. In any case, those poor creatures can rest easy. That guy's arteries would burst before he'd be able to catch one of them.
Так интересно, я только пока не понимаю, что мы в итоге сделаем. Допустим, мы возьмем рыбу, принесем к кошкам, натравим, что ли, на мужиков?
Okay. I'll use the can to avoid touching those disgusting fish with my hands.
Вкусный звук. Сделано с любовью, сразу чувствуется. Итак, вот мы принесли сюда. Что, на мусорные баки юзаем или на брезент? На мусорные баки, окей. Кошки вылезают перекусить. Ой, какие милахи.
There you are, you mangy beasts! So you dared to come out, did you? Now I've got you! Ow! Goddamn revolting cats! Sooner or later I'll get each and every last one of you! I promise you!
Don't get
Осуждаем, кстати,
mad.
осуждаем.
Your technique's improving. You almost got one this time.
Shut up!
И что, мы теперь считаем, что они переместились? Ага, электрический щиток. Чё за квест?
Now I get it. This is the system that controls the amount of current that reaches each of the streetlights.
А что нужно сделать? Ну, чтобы все перегорело? Это не перегорает. Нормально,
What the
перегорает.
shit? Why does nothing work right in this filthy city?
Looks like a voltage surge. Suppose you think the cats are to blame.
Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you! I'm not letting those flea-bitten beasts out of my sight! No chance, mate!
Так, и теперь мы можем подняться наверх, судя по всему. И хую. Ё-моё.
Wait a minute. I've seen this place before. I've been here. I recognize this rooftop. Those trees. The park. The statue. Tomorrow comes today. Of course. The photo from the poster. It was shot from someplace in this very building. But what's the meaning of all this? And could it be that the voice wasn't actually trying to lead me to that burned out bookstore down there? But rather to this building? To this place?
Хватай ведро и беги.
Oh no. It's starting again. It's amazing. Everything's changing. Everything. Everything is mutating. And I haven't even moved. I don't understand. I don't understand anything.
Зачем они сделали вот эту регулярно повторяющуюся фразу? Я вот это вообще не могу понять.
A ton of useless objects are piling up in this corner. Nothing interesting. I guess that's the reason the neighbors left them here. The blades of this contraption must have stopped turning months ago, and I don't think doing without it is the owner's biggest problem right now.
А вот птица. Она вроде не активна. Парк статуя. Тенне. Let's go внутрь. Укрепленная
The
хижина.
front door of this apartment has been reinforced with various locks and bolts. Despite the surveillance by the soldiers, the people who live in this building must be terrified of burglary and looting. There's a metal plaque on the wall next to the door. Michael Argent, photographer. I can't believe it. This is the apartment of a man named Michael, an apartment located above the Beechwood Oracle bookstore, and in the building where the photograph on the poster was taken. Can all this really be a coincidence? It's hard to believe, but is it possible that the voice in my head has been guiding me to my own front door?
Че, идем домой?
There's a piece of paper stuck to the door, and it looks like it has a handwritten message on it. Let's see what it says here.
Привет, Майкл. Мы уже давно пытаемся связаться с тобой. Где ты пропадаешь? Мы начинаем серьезно волноваться. Крису нужно срочно с тобой поговорить. Зайди к нам в редакцию газеты, теперь мы живем там. Сара.
Who could Sarah be? And this Chris, could he have something to do with the person I saw in my vision?
И что это я записал, интересно? Я заинтриговала записка, которую я нашел на двери квартиры. Кто такой Крис? И что может скрываться за этой дверью? Так, а мы можем в дверь-то зайти?
Of course. It's locked, and I think it's better if I don't try to pick the lock. I could be mistaken for a burglar, and the last thing I need right now is for someone to call the guards patrolling this area.
Неужели Роуз... У Роуз будет ключ? Вполне может быть.
Those two pigs seem to be watching that entrance very intently. They probably pumped me full of lead before I got a chance to turn the
А
door
ничего,
knob.
что ты только что вышел из этой двери? Видимо, ничего, да?
The cats have already done their business back there. I'm not gonna bother them.
Ну, окей. Типа что-то мы сделали, получили ведро, получили записку. Попробуем что-нибудь сделать с костром и...
Isn't it time for you to go back to your nest, rat?
Что, простите?
That ignorant bastard is starting to get on my nerves. Yes, I do have to be going. By the way, how did the chase go? Were those cats too quick for you?
You'd better go. It's not in your best interest to get my partner any more agitated. Not tonight.
You shut your mouth, you rat, or I'll shut it for you! I won't warn you again! Those beasts are possessed, and I'm going to exterminate them, one by one, with my bare hands if I have to!
I'm sure that would make you the pride of the force. Just one more thing. Try to stay away from the trash cans next time.
I've warned you, you filthy rat! You've worn out my patience!
Ой-ой.
This'll teach you to treat me with a little more respect! I'm going to wipe that stupid grin off your face! Ouch! This is the only language you shitheads from the refugee camp understand! So, you're going to treat me with respect now, aren't you?
Может быть, имело смысл увернуться?
Come on, leave him alone. You'll kill him. He is a mole after all, and it's in our interest to keep him alive. Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, you're safe for now, but I have a very good memory for faces. Another day, I'll finish what we started, rat. I swear it!
Ладно, это все было ради того, чтобы фонарик стырить. Ясно, понятно.
Like an absurd bowling match, that sack of fat in a uniform knocked over these cans in his frustrated pursuit.
Как ты умудрился получить от него по лицу? Фонариком, блин, друг. Че, сходим вначале с фонариком? Тут-то ничего не поменялось? Нет, вроде все как было. Догадается он заюзать фонарик?
Wait a minute. I'm not going to climb down any further. It's totally
У
dark.
тебя
in there,
фонарик в
and it would be
руках.
crazy to go into these sewers without any light.
Ну не в руках, в кармашках.
Okay, here goes. I'll turn on the flashlight before going down any further.
А нам что-нибудь покажут?
Great. These tunnels are a real labyrinth. And I'm afraid that the map on the cleanup brigade's GPS only shows the city at street level. There's no reference to the sewers in the GPS. I'd better turn back before I get lost. This could be very dangerous.
И тогда ради чего все это было? Зачем нам дали этот фонарик? Так, есть костер, есть ведро.
In the flames, all the hopes and dreams of Rod and his family are going up in smoke. I'm not going to add any more fuel to this fire.
Так, а может быть как-то потушить можно? Здорово, здорово, Дура-Дора. Как дела твои?
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. This cradle is just like the one in the picture. Now I can rock my baby to sleep and sing to him. But now I need you to find the baby. I won't tell you your secret if you don't bring me my baby. Bring me my baby boy, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Okay, don't worry, Rose. I'll do it.
Так, а где бы нам взять воду? Или что-то типа воды? Вообще вот здесь? Или здесь мы должны ее взять? Только он сейчас ведро, небось, оставит. Да? Нет. Набирай воды.
Okay, I'll use the bucket for what it was designed for. To be filled with water.
Красавчик. Че, а подняться ты сможешь? Ну вообще красавчик. Я вот прям уже представляю, как он поднимается по веревке с ведром, наполненным водой. Это, конечно, кайф.
Here goes. Maybe we can still salvage something from the fire. Now that the fire is out, I don't intend to carry this rusty bucket around anymore. I'll get rid of it.
Минус ведро плюс малыш.
It sends shivers down my spine to think that this hunk of plastic belonged to little Colin. It's a sinister image, considering the boy's fate.
Но я думаю, что для Роуз пойдет и так. Роуз, смотри, какая прелесть.
I'm not proud of what I'm about to do, but I need to find out that secret Rose is keeping from me. And if she wants her baby, I'll give her back her baby. I've brought you your baby, Rose.
Did you bring me my baby? Did you bring him? Thank you so much, Mr. Sleepyhead. You kept your word. You brought me my baby.
Now I need you to tell me that secret you promised to reveal if I brought what you asked.
Yes, our secret. I have something that belongs to you, Mr. Sleepyhead. It's the key that opens your chest of dreams. And now, it's yours again.
But it's a real key. Where did you get it?
I found it in your jacket after
Ребеночек
Rod
просто
and his
вообще
wife gave me your clothes.
Brilliant.
When I got to my room, the key fell on the floor and made a clinking sound. I had just seen you sleeping in their trailer, like a big bear. And then I figured it out. It was the key to the chest where you were keeping your dreams. Because you like to dream, don't you? Of course you do. That's why your name is Mr. Sleepyhead.
The key that opens my chest of dreams. Thank you very much for your help, Rose. Take good care of your son. I should be going now.
No, please. Don't go. Don't leave me here. Now that I found my baby, I have to get away from here. Far away. I have to get away from the haunted castle. If you leave, more men will come and hurt me, and they'll lock me up in the dark again. And I can't stand the dark. That's when those soldiers come back and take me with them. And now they'll want to hurt my baby, too.
The hunter was clear. I mustn't get mixed up in his affairs, or there'll be hell to pay. I'm sorry, Rose. I can't do anything.
Mr. Sleepyhead, I can't stand it anymore. Don't let them touch me again. Please help me. You have to get me out of here. Like the knight in the stories. You're my knight, and I'm your princess.
Good God. This is unbearable. Victims and executioners. It sums things up. And what was I? What was my role before the Great Wave? Damn it. I can't just leave that poor girl to her fate. I have to do something to save her, even if I don't know what that is yet. I'll help you, Rose. I'll help you get out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. Do you promise? Will you be my knight in shining armor?
Yes.
Обещать не значит жениться, я считаю. Ладно, погнали. У нас есть дела поважнее. Мы возвращаемся к себе домой, между прочим. Не хухры-мухры.
Let's see if my intuition is correct. Yes, the key that opens my chest of dreams is a key that in fact belongs to Michael Argent, photographer. The key to my own apartment.
Ё-моё. Я думал... Ну да, это же все какие-то стикеры. Я думал, это все фотографии. И сейчас выяснится, что мы маньяк какой-нибудь. Блин, вот это сюжетный поворот. Нам нужно сделать фотографию этого базы. И неожиданно мы оказываемся фотографом, и у нас есть фотоаппарат в доме. Да, это сильно.
The outside of this closet is covered with photos cut out of magazines and newspapers. It looks disproportionately huge in this tiny apartment. No, I'd only rip it if I tried to pull it down without first taking out the screws.
А чем можно открутить?
I wouldn't waste too much time on this. Pounding on the screws holding the fabric won't do anything to loosen them.
Да, и так сойдет.
This must be the corner where I did my least complicated photographic jobs. Just a white backdrop and these two shattered lamps to light the scene.
Я не понимаю, зачем мы хотим задник снять, честно говоря.
No, I'd only rip it. Whoever designed this building didn't go to too much trouble to conceal the structural elements. There are pillars and wooden beams all over the place. A line of tiny screws holds up the white backdrop that hangs from the crossbeam. As dry and as empty as the contents of my memory. I see various liquor bottles scattered around the room. That explains the odor I find so unbearable. It can't be. It's me.
Yeah.
This photo. I remember it. I remember this photograph.
Please, Michael, help us. Only you can do it.
And this woman she's Emily. She's my wife. Now I remember her. The person who's been communicating with me all this time. Emily.
I love you, Michael.
Здорово, Дис.
And I now pronounce you.
Don't ever leave me.
I won't.
I have something to tell you, Michael.
Are you really? Oh, yes!
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see. It's all your fault!
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us. I'm afraid of you.
Shut up! Shut up! Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach and we were getting to know each other? Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise. Oh, Emily, what does all this mean?
Как дела,
Where
детишки?
are
Да
you?
ничего вроде.
How can I find you? What are these messages you keep repeating in my head? I've lost my mind. I've lost my mind. That's the only logical explanation for this. Oh, Emily. My poor Emily.
Десна только болит, а
Where
так все
are
нормально.
you? How can I find you?
TX.
Stored safely inside this box. This is the only photograph I have
Чё,
left
опять?
of Emily.
Сколько можно курить-то?
Bjorn City Paper. That's the name of this newspaper. Now I understand. This file cabinet holds copies of newspapers and magazines my photos appeared in. It seems like as a photographer, I was very fond of my own
Курить,
work.
между прочим, это здоровью вредить. Ты бы как-то подзавязывал.
Alexander Tribune. The title of this publication appears in the front page. Alexander. Central. First, as much.
И чё, я могу набрать все газеты? Нет, все не могу. Какая-то мне нужна определенная.
Dauphin News. Greater City Horizon. Rural Daily. Paper and pen. Paper and pen.
Но пока непонятно, какая мне нужна.
Objective.
Почти
1001 News Gazette.
даже не представляю.
Young Zimmerman Chronicle. The title of the
И даже не представляю, где бы это могло нам
Village
понадобиться.
Green Preservation. What for? None of these titles means anything at all to me. It's like looking into a mirror and seeing a reflection you no longer recognize staring back at you. It's like a shelf with photos. This must be the.
И это как бы все, да?
It's exactly the same view of the park and the statue that appears in the photo on the poster. No doubt this must have been one of my simplest and most lucrative jobs. I completed it without even leaving the house.
И вроде как это все. То есть у нас здесь остается задник, который мы вроде как хотим снять. Непонятно для чего. Но при этом, чтобы его снять, нужна отвертка. И ничего из того, что у нас имеется, вроде как не подходит. Есть куча газет. Но это выход назад. Но главное, что у нас есть фотик.
A somewhat antiquated model of an instant camera. Despite its appearance, it seems to be in perfect working order. I only see one problem. It has no film in it.
В нем нету пленки. Но, кстати, в теории может что-то быть за задником, да?
No. Whoever does there a line. Use this here? The lights are broken and burnt out.
Хорошо. Первое, что приходит в голову, это попросить помощи у все того же охотника. Сказать ему: чел, я вот нашел фотик, но мне нужна пленка. Поделись.
I prefer to hold on to it. I think this will be more useful to me.
Просто поболтать, допустим, тогда.
Did you get me that photo of the hospital's fuel depot yet?
Лучше я принес фотик.
No, not yet.
What are you waiting for, dude? You know the deal. Bring me that photo and I'll give you whatever you want.
Как я говорил, мне надо, чтобы ты отвлек Эткинсона.
Like I said, I need you to distract Rod Atkinson and his wife for a few minutes. I need to be alone with the boy.
And that will be arranged, Michael. You have my word. But bring me that photograph first. Agreed?
Окей.
It's the device the cleanup brigades use to navigate during their raids. Sort of an electronic map. It looks like some satellites are actually still working after the Great Wave. I just have to enter an address, and this screen will show me where it is.
Так, а разве нам батарейки дали? Мы можем как-то это объединить?
I don't think doing this would serve any purpose. I don't...
Нам пленка все равно еще нужна. Так или иначе, нужна пленка. Привет, братюнь. Здесь,
Burned remains.
скорее всего, ничего нету, ничего не осталось. Тут ничего не поменялось.
Burned remains of clothes, books and toys. That's all that's left
Осторожно,
now
стрима
with the
3 дня назад.
bonfire outlit.
Бочки, возвращаюсь, те же бочки. Так, а потому что ты не приходил позавчера. А позавчера была, между прочим, таверна. Вот, Twitch не даст соврать, смотри. Игра была интересная. А ты вот взял и не пришел. А мы там, между прочим, смотрел стримы, у народа винишко тырит. Винишко наливали. С пивасиком. Так, здесь, по идее, все.
Hey,
С этим разговаривать больше не имеет
You
смысла.
paid for her.
Здесь, видимо, тоже... В НВ-то когда больше? Не знаю, когда ты приедешь. Вместе поиграем. Рыбалка 152, это сильно. Есть еще вот эта странная локация, которая совершенно непонятна.
I don't think I'd gain any. How could I use the GPS here?
А он говорит, что он считает, что там GPS не будет работать в этой.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Ничего не получится. Боится, что ничего не получится. А ты не бойся. Нет, главное, мы получили фотик, а толку никакого. Я помню, что была еще какая-то комната, где не было света. Я надеюсь, что как раз мы ее сейчас найдем, и она нам и поможет. Не знаю, что там должно быть. Но что-нибудь должно обязательно. Вот это, по-моему, темная комната. Угу.
Let's see what this room actually is, with a little light.
И чё?
All right, I'll flip the switch for the only circuit that's not blown. I think I hear the buzz of electricity coming from the surface.
А комнату-то мы будем смотреть? Электричество выключил, типа? Или что?
I've switched off the circuit breaker I activated earlier on the control panel.
Выключил автомат, включил автомат.
It's a control panel for the building's lighting. It's in absolutely disastrous condition. I've already activated the only circuit breaker still working. I only see empty detergent containers and a beat-up old electrical panel hanging on the wall. Everything indicates that this was a maintenance room from a long, long time ago.
Ну, чё-то включил какой-то свет.
A few powerful spotlights light the contents of the depot. This place is glowing like a gold mine right now.
Вот мы его подсветили, и нам его нужно
I
сфоткать.
have an excellent view of the hospital compound and the fuel depot from here. Shame the camera doesn't have any film in it.
И дело за малым, нам нужна пленка. И где бы нам пленку попытаться достать? Набор тестов — это явно не то, что нам нужно. Может ли у сестры Умы
I'm not going to give this camera to anyone. The only photographer here is me.
быть пленка? Походу нет. У кого может быть пленка? У бармена?
Hello, Uma. Uma.
Talk that will be very.
Сомнительно. Нет, у нас дома должны быть. пленки должны быть у нас дома, потому что мы чертов фотограф. Единственное... Получается, единственное место, которое мы не изучили, это за белым углом. Но он там хочет открутить болты.
Central Outrider. It's one of the many publications I was saving inside the file cabinet at home. It's the note I found on the door to the apartment.
Иди к нам в редакцию.
Although it refers to a newspaper office, I don't see any address in this note that I can search for with the GPS.
Угу. Кто такой Крис? Поболтать с мужиком мы не можем. Тут мы можем ошиваться сколько угодно. От этого никакой пользы.
The cat's a...
Здесь я вроде как уже все посмотрел.
Now I not only... They also...
Наверху мы вроде как тоже все посмотрели.
From what I heard, all telecommunications collapsed in the catastrophe. It seems like it took the Great Wave only a few seconds to turn all of our technology into scrap metal.
Ну...
I think I hear noise from the other side of that peephole, but I'm not sure. Damn it. Being in this place is starting to make me feel a little bit paranoid. The front door of this apartment, despite... I think I... Damn it. The front, despite...
Ну постучись как-нибудь. Проси что-нибудь.
It's just a piece of paper with writing on it. How could I use it with this?
Ну я не знаю, ну...
Doesn't...
Ну очевидно же чего-то не хватает.
As dry, I see that...
Не знаю, возьми вот пустую бутылку, например. Разбей. Розочкой отрежь задник. Ну, мы хотим увидеть, что за задником. Зачем нам обязательно сверху его? Почему ты не можешь его просто отодвинуть в сторону?
There's already enough light. I don't need to illuminate this. I wouldn't waste too much time on this. Pounding on the screws holding the fat... I don't quite...
А, слушайте.
It's the note I found on the door to the apartment.
ТНТ. Это, собственно говоря, редакция. Нам нужно найти редакцию с такой аббревиатурой. И там будет адрес. Вот что нам нужно сделать. ABC, D, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, R. Блин, я забыл алфавит английский. M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T. Вот здесь вот, да?
Solstice time. First, I'll put the newspaper I
Teenage
took back in
Ninja
its
Turtles.
place. As much as I might like
Вполне
my
может
old
быть.
photos, I have no intention of carrying around... Union Country Mess... Sandy
Ю.
Ridge... As much... Today Progress, one of the many newspapers... The New Truth.
The
That's
New
the name of
Truth.
this newspaper.
Это оно.
First, I'll put the newspaper I took back in its place. As much as I might like my old photo... The New Truth. the newspaper for those who have woken up. It looks like a decent publication, even though it was produced on a shoestring budget.
Вот
The
и
address
Крис.
of the office is at the bottom of the first page, and the article on the front page is under the byline of one Chris Blunstone.
И Токио. Необычные потрясающие вспышки неизвестной природы продолжают загораться в ночном небе над столицей Японии. Местные власти не дают официального объяснения данному феномену. Имеют сведения о серьезных электромагнитных отклонениях в зонах наибольшей активности. Ходят слухи, что правительство готовится немедленно закрыть границу государства.
The address of the
Так, ну чё, получается, продвигаемся дальше?
Of course. The letters TNT on the letterhead of Sarah and Chris's note stand for the newspaper, The New Truth. I'll enter the address of the newspaper office shown on the front page. The map indicates a place near the main avenue of the city. Will it still be standing? Let's go find out.
Какая-то очень коротенькая глава была, третья. То ли мы очень долго тупили на второй.
Good God, Michael, is that you?
There's no question about it. That's the person I saw in my vision. The person mentioned in the note I found in my house. What was his name? Hello, Chris.
Come in quickly. It's dangerous to be out on the streets at this hour. Michael, I'm so glad to see you again. After all that time without hearing from you, Sarah and I feared the worst. But tell me, why didn't you come sooner? Where have you been all this time?
From his enthusiastic welcome, it looks like this man and I were good friends in the past, before the entire world collapsed. But can I trust him? I don't know. Do I have any other choice? It's a long story, Chris. Very long.
I'm all ears, old friend.
And while I tell him everything I can remember, the few things in my memory since waking up in Rod's trailer, I see a mixture of tenderness and compassion on his face. Something I haven't seen in anyone else since waking up in this hellhole. I haven't the slightest doubt. I can trust this man.
I'm sorry for
В конце
everything that
концов, он же на
happened,
каталке.
Michael. Sarah and
Не
I have
сможет нам
been trying
навредить.
to get in touch with you for a long time, but the Great Wave made it impossible to find you. Now I know why. As a matter of fact, she went out to take that note to your house. I haven't seen her since. Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did she tell you she was coming here?
Sarah? I'm sorry, but I just found this handwritten note on the door. That's all.
Of course, forgive me. You already told me that you were blanked. You don't remember her. Sarah is my wife. Emily and she were close friends. In fact, they ran the Beechwood Oracle bookstore together, right below your apartment. That's how you started working with us at The New Truth. And the two of you, Emily and you, became like family to us. I want you to know that what happened to Emily affected us deeply, Michael. Sarah was devastated. We could hardly bring ourselves to speak to you at the time. I'm so sorry for what happened to her.
What the hell are you talking about?
Good God. Don't tell me you don't remember that either. Emily died, Michael.
But that's impossible.
I'm sorry to be the one to make you relive that hell. You yourself told Sarah and me on the phone a little while before you returned home. It happened while the two of you were in Japan, scarcely a few days before the Great Wave hit. At the paper, we sent you on an assignment to do a photo essay on those strange lights that had been sighted in the sky over Tokyo. So you got all your photography equipment together and set off right away. Emily went with you. You two decided to use the trip as a chance to work on your marriage, which had been in trouble for a long time. You were in bad shape, Michael. Your financial problems, her miscarriages, your violent, self-destructive nature. Emily couldn't take it anymore. You were putting her through too much back then.
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see. It's all your fault.
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us. I'm afraid of you.
I can't help it. It's that demon. You know I can't help it.
From what you told us, things were getting better. After so many years, both of you were starting to rediscover each other.
Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach when we were getting to know each other?
Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise.
Until one night in your hotel, Emily started to feel sick. It all happened very fast. She was having fainting spells, vomiting, running a fever. You took her to the nearest hospital where she was admitted immediately.
Emily, what's happening? Emily! Emily!
And a few hours later, they told you she was dead.
Это звучит, как будто она
They wouldn't even let
решила
you see her
травануться.
body. They wouldn't let you see her. The Japanese authorities hustled you off on the next plane out. It was all very strange and disconcerting. And the very night you arrived, the great wave hit.
Oh, Emily. Now I remember it. I remember everything.
I remember her pale, haggard face when she took my hand. Don't worry. It's nothing. Everything will be all right, she was saying, while they were wheeling her deep into the hospital. And she waved goodbye to me, forcing a smile to cover her fear.
Хотя это уже не похоже на то, что она...
And then I saw it. I swear I could see how time was stopping. Little by little. In her eyes.
Emily can't be dead. She talks to me. I've been hearing her voice for some time now. You must think I've lost my mind.
From the little we were able to talk to you before you got back, we could see that her death hit you terribly hard, Michael. You felt extremely guilty for the way you treated her those last few years. You said you would never be able to forgive yourself. It's possible that the pain warped your mind, but it's also possible that what is happening to you is real.
If Emily died before the Great Wave, how can what's happening to me be real?
Let me tell you something. In spite of the catastrophe, at the new truth, we've never stopped working. For Sarah and for me, this newspaper is our life. And since the Great Wave, our contacts and confidential sources haven't stopped bringing us the most incredible and chilling information you could imagine. Thousands, no, millions of unexplained phenomena are taking place simultaneously all over the world, Michael. We're living through the strangest and most confusing times in our history, and any hypothesis, no matter how crazy, must be taken into consideration, even what you just told me. There's no question that something extraordinary is happening all over the world because of the Great Wave, the emergence of the dissolved, and our gradual approach to the dead synchronicity point.
Мертвая синхроничность? Что это?
Dead synchronicity? What's that?
It's very difficult to explain, Michael. We're still so short of information. But I will tell you one thing. Time is running out. The Great Wave triggered a landslide of death and destruction that's accelerating by the day. And the end will be absolutely devastating.
Look around you, Chris. It's impossible for the situation to get worse.
If the theory about the approach of the dead synchronicity point is true, the future that awaits us will make everything we've seen up to now seem like a walk in the park, Michael. The arrival of the dead synchronicity point will mean the end of the world as we know it. The end of the laws of nature, the laws of physics, the very meaning of existence. And with them, of course, the end of the human species on the face of the earth. Our inability to adapt will wipe us out in a matter of minutes. And indeed, in some cases, it's already happening. But the good news is that if this hypothesis is correct, the very nature of this anomaly could also allow us to reverse the situation.
Reverse the situation? You mean avoid the future you're talking about? Avoid the consequences of the Great Wave? Is that possible?
Of course it is. How can I explain it to you? No, not yet. It would be too complex for you to understand, and I don't want to create any false hope. I can't tell you anything more for the time being. We need more information, more sources, and we need them urgently. Time is running out, in every sense of the word.
Yes, the Great Wave. People have been telling me about it since the moment I woke up.
Everyone talks about it, but no one really knows what it is. Did you know that the catastrophe didn't just strike here, but all over the world? They keep us isolated and misinformed. But that's the truth. The Great Wave didn't just destroy this city. It affected the entire planet. And the most surprising thing is that it all happened simultaneously, at the exact same moment everywhere on Earth. Isn't that amazing? There's never been an official account of the catastrophe. They don't want to tell us. But at the New Truth, we know a lot of things they don't want us to know.
They? Who are they?
The elite, the army, the shadow government, whoever is in control at any particular moment. They're determined to maintain the power structures of the old world by any means. The irony is, for the moment, any notion of order or control is absurd. The rules of the game have changed completely, and the entire world is slipping through their fingers. They're disoriented and frightened, and they'll do anything to prop up the old system. That's what makes them so dangerous. But information weakens them, makes them vulnerable. And that's why we have to keep investigating, Michael. It's our duty to uncover the truth.
The dissolved. That horrible disease.
Yes, the fate of those poor devils. That's the cruelest and saddest part of this story. From reliable sources, we've been able to find out that while it is true the Great Wave multiplied the number of dissolved drastically, a few early cases of dissolution were actually detected hours, even days before the catastrophe.
What? There were cases of the dissolved before the Great Wave?
Yes, Michael. Just a handful of victims scattered across the globe. But the timing is significant. What's more, people have told us shocking stories about those victims.
I could tell you one. Colin, the only child of the family that took care of me in the refugee camp, is a dissolved. Just a few hours ago, in a deep trance, he shouted out my name, insisting that he needed to talk to me. He kept saying that he wanted to give me a message from Emily.
Good God, Michael. And what was that message?
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, but I will. His condition is very serious, and I have to hurry.
If only we had more information about the disease, what it is, where it came from. If only we knew a little bit more about those strange underground highways they talk about so much during their trances. We need more information. At the New Truth, all we have are a few eyewitness reports here and there, and a handful of tests for detecting the disease that we were able to steal from one of the cleanup brigades. And that's not very much when you're trying to put together a puzzle as obscure and complicated as this one.
I need answers too, Chris. Where can I find the information you need? How can I help you?
A few days ago, one of our confidential sources in the Army contacted the New Truth. He told us he had a bombshell in his hands, an official report of the results of all the investigations conducted to date on the Great Wave, the Dissolved, and the Dead Synchronicity Point. It's a real gold mine, Michael. The answer to our prayers.
And where is that report now?
The same day she left the note at your house, Sarah was supposed to meet our source at the same place we always meet people who cooperate with the New Truth, which had been the safest place in the city up to that point. The sewers. But she never came back, Michael. I was hoping she'd found you. Or perhaps some problem had come up in the sewers, and she'd taken refuge in your apartment.
Don't worry, Chris. Sarah will be fine.
Yes, I know. Sarah is a strong woman and very resourceful. I know she can take care of herself. If you want to help us, Michael, get us that report. I'm trapped in this basement in this wheelchair, but I know that you'll be able to get it for me. It's vitally important that we get it. That's where we'll find the answers to all our questions. Even answers about Emily and her messages. Follow the trail of Sarah and our source. Go down into the sewers and find some clue that can lead us to them. But be very careful down there. It's dangerous.
Dangerous? You just told me the sewers were the safest place in the city.
Indeed, they were. That's why they became the perfect hiding place for the Dissolved and their families. For some time now, the Army has been reinforcing its dragnets for catching the Dissolved hiding in the sewers. If they find you in one of those tunnels, they'll shoot first and ask questions later.
I'll be fine.
Take this. You'll need something to guide you. The city sewer system is a veritable labyrinth. I've marked the exact spot where the meeting was supposed to take place. It's a huge subterranean gallery where several pipes converge. Michael, please, bring me that report. And for the love of God, bring Sarah back to me safe and sound.
I'll do it.
I'll do that. А мне бы... пленку.
Locked with a key. I'm afraid that Chris doesn't trust anyone. And the way things turned out after the Great Wave, he's doing the right thing. A huge old trunk. Looks like the layer of dust on top.
Нижние полки. Стол Криса. Записки, газетные вырезки.
Dozens of documents and newspaper clippings about conspiracies, attacks, inexplicable occurrences. Looking at the topics of all this material. Oh Lord, I'm completely exhausted. I feel like I've been wandering around this new world for centuries, but I can't stop to rest now. Not until a beat-up armchair covered with patches. It's funny. It's pretty tatty, but it looks extremely comfortable. While I can't remember her clearly, looking at this photograph gives me a pleasant sense of...
Прям старуха такая
I'm sure Sarah
нарисована.
and I were very good friends before the world collapsed.
Мне бы...
It doesn't seem like a good idea.
Вообще не понимает ничего. Зачем здесь старое кресло это стоит?
Chris.
Что известно о новой истине о Великой Волне? Расскажи еще, что ты знаешь. Я имею в виду, когда говоришь... Нет, мы это все уже только что прослушали.
The entire base. You can even find Sarah and...
Ну чё, двигаемся тогда по сюжету? Здесь я не вижу ничего, что могло бы наполнить мой фотоаппарат. Сюжет в канализацию идем. Вроде как все для этого есть.
Better not.
Объединять не надо, наверное, все сработает само.
Here goes. I'll use the map Chris gave me as a guide. These tunnels are a real labyrinth. This is the place marked on the map, the place where Sarah and her confidential source were found. It's a shoe, trying to stay afloat in the stinking sludge of the sewer. From here, it looks like a castaway waiting for help. It's of no use. I'm afraid that there's not much I can do for it now. There's a very familiar sound coming from the depths of the tunnel behind this grate. It's a subway train. I don't get it. If they boarded up the subway stops and shut down the subway service, what the devil are those trains carrying? And where are they going? Dozens of dark tunnels converge in this area. Most of them closed or inaccessible from here. This place must be the true subterranean heart of the city. Damn it. More of that macabre graffiti. This pestilent city is oozing blood from every pore. The trail disappears, drip by drip, into that tunnel.
Ну, погнали. Кажется, мы здесь были.
I've been able to remove some of the waste, but I won't be able to remove the rest of it with my hands. This stuff is too snarled up.
Ну, попробуй ломом.
All right. Let's see what the devil is so tangled up in here.
My God! Sarah! A bullet's torn off her jaw, but her face is still recognizable. Poor Chris. How am I gonna break this to him?
Так, флешечку-то возьми.
One bullet hit her in the jaw, and another went through part of her neck. There's no doubt that Sarah bled to death while using the last of her strength, trying to drag herself out of here.
Ну вот, как бы и все. Че, несем это обратно? Ну, пока что вообще, как бы, Сложно сбиться с пути, потому что слишком уж красной нитью все тут нас ведет. Сходили туда, вернулись сюда, флешечку отдали. Сейчас, наверное, к компу нас отправят.
Michael, you're back already? Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did you bring the report she went out to get?
I brought the report. Here it is.
Oh, that's great news. I knew you could do it. Ah, damn it. I should have guessed. I was expecting a paper dossier, not an electronic document. We have a serious problem, Michael.
Problem? What's wrong?
We're not in the old world anymore, and access to electricity is a privilege very few people have nowadays. The good news is that I was able to save my old laptop from the Great Wave. The bad news is that we don't have anywhere to plug it in.
What can we do?
If we want to find out the secrets in this report, we need electricity. Bring me a generator with enough fuel, and we'll find all the answers we need, Michael. But tell me, please, did you find Sarah?
Давай вот я
Why didn't she
проще
come back
придумаю
with you?
план.
What happened?
Гораздо проще придумаю план. Ты даешь нам ноутбук, мы приходим в трейлер Роузи, заряжаем там ноутбук, возвращаемся сюда, и все. И проблемы нет. А не вот это вот «принеси мне генератор». Типа, что из этого более портативно? Генератор или ноутбук? Зачем нести генератор к ноутбуку, если можно принести ноутбук к генератору? Давайте скажем, что Сара жива и здорова. Ладно, нет, мы не будем врать. Мы же не из врунов.
I'm sorry, Chris. Sarah's dead.
God. But what?
It looks like she and your confidential source were ambushed and shot by soldiers in the sewers. I found Sarah's body in one of the graded tunnels, near the refugee camp. I took the report out of her hands, but I had to leave her there.
Oh, my poor Sarah. She didn't deserve that. Please, Michael, don't leave her body to rot in the sewers. I beg of you. Do it for me. For Sarah. For Emily.
I'll do what I can, Chris. I promise you.
Now, get me that electric generator. Time is running out.
А что мы можем сделать с трупом, интересно? Ну мы ничего и не записали. Мешок для Сары. Ну, кстати, Варик.
Before leaving his house, I shoot a furtive glance at Chris. He's gazing in Sarah's photo in silence, completely lost in thought. Maybe I should have lied about what happened to her. Told him that she got away, leaving the report behind. That she's safe and sound, and just waiting for the right moment to come back. But the truth is a poisonous inheritance from the old world. What good does it do to know it, if it snatches away your last hope?
Поможет. Ой, братюнь. Я знаю, ты не такой. Просто мне кажется, что это...
This corpse deserves a decent burial, not to be put in a dirty, used plastic bag.
Да алло! Похорон. Каких, блин, похорон?
The lights are broken and burnt.
Ну, теперь я тогда точно не знаю, что здесь нужно делать. В плакат могу завернуть.
Use this here? Besides...
Не знаю, что имеется в виду, я вообще не
Oh my
представляю.
God. Sarah's remains.
С пластиковым пакетом была отличная идея. И что мы в итоге имеем? Ровным счетом ничего? По факту. У нас как не было фотоаппарата, ну как не было этой пленки, так и нету. Что-то поделали, а толку никакого. И нам нужен генератор.
No. Rose is waiting for someone to free her from her captors. Talking to her again would only feed the delusions of her warped mind even more. I doubt this belongs to Rose. I suppose that after installing the lights on the ceiling, those poker addicts left this old toolbox here.
Отвертки нет. Роуз разговаривает, ну типа Роуз не хочет, да, с нами никак коммуницировать.
Hey, you guys. You talking up?
I don't have.
Здесь как не было
You paid for.
никаких этих самых, так и нету.
This is the only generator I've seen in the entire refugee camp. It's worth a fortune. That's why those goons won't let it out of their sight.
Нам надо как-то Роуз вымыть. Не знаю, вообще не понимаю пока. Пепелище, отверток нет.
That's odd. The drum has a huge everything.
Отвертки вроде нигде очень не попадались на глаза, если честно. Наверное, что-то могло измениться в доме с пацанами. Куда, наверное, сейчас?
Hello again.
Здесь ничего полезного нет. Не предлагают. Не отверток, опять же. Ничего. Ну, мы 100 лет уже, типа, там не были. Давайте попробуем. Вдруг что там изменилось. Да нет, не изменилось.
Better not. I have no. Better not. The sound.
Разговаривать мы с ней не хотим. И с пацанами мы разговариваем тоже не
These two
хотим,
kids,
как я помню. Хорош. Ну чё, получается, что у беженцев ничего. И здесь как раз труп Сары.
One bullet hit her in the. There's no.
И прочные прутья. И все. Ну, то есть просто мы теперь отсюда видим труп Сары. Который мы хотим похоронить.
It looks like, but now.
Каким-то непонятным образом, учитывая, что мы даже не можем его взять. Здесь поговорить мы не можем. Здесь висит замок. Здесь все так же нету ничего. И никого. Вот метро все так же закрыт. Здесь мужчины как ушли, так их больше здесь и нет. Мы в теории, наверное, можем... А нет, даже включить обратно не можем. Брезент трогать не хотим. Здесь есть монитор, но он нам не пригодился и не пригодится. Здесь кто-то живет, но мы туда не можем ломануться. Может, кому-то надо дать карту, чтобы ее похоронили как подобает? Кому-то дать карту. Ну, в целом звучит норм. Как план. Но пока просто, мне кажется, что нам не к кому обратиться, честно говоря. Ну, то есть, у нас есть человек, который может решать любые проблемы и задачи. Но он готов с нами общаться. Нет, гробовщика нет. Есть решала. И решала готов нам помочь во всех наших проблемах, если мы для него сфоткаем этот самый... Сфоткаем склад с топливом. И мы знаем, где склад с топливом. И мы готовы сфоткать, но... И у нас даже есть фотик, но нету пленки. И мы находимся у себя дома. Мы фотограф, и у себя дома мы не можем найти пленку. Единственное место, где я предполагаю, может быть пленка, это за задником для съемок. Но мы не можем снять задник для съемок, потому что мы какой-то странный. Он хочет открутить винты. При этом он не хочет отламывать балку.
Stored safely inside.
Пойдем в Лакбион.
This melancholy music
Дорин,
makes my
спасибо.
hair stand on end. I seem to be hearing the sad voice of Emily in every note. Where are you? How can I find you?
Возможно, когда-нибудь, но не сейчас. А Дориан, что там делает в этом Лакбионе? Вот что? Что там делать? Что? Что там интересного? Божечки, там ничего нету в нем, нету. Все, там весь Лакбион пройден. От начала и до конца. Бесконечное количество раз. Лучше вот придумай, что мне сделать в игре. Мне пленка нужна. Ты в караптах норм стал? Я в караптах уже никогда не буду норм. Я слишком стар. Я уже был топ-3 друидом всея Альбиона, и мне больше ничего не нужно. В кристалках 4.7 побеждал. Я играл в ГВГ, когда еще все под стол ходили. Пешком. Как там говорят? Держал Корлеон.
These stains mark the spot where that bloated psychopath knocked me down with his flashlight. Now I can say I've made my mark in this new world. Wait a minute. In all that blood, there's something white. It's a fragment of one of my teeth.
Опа! А зачем бы нам мог понадобиться осколок зуба? Осколоком зуба открутить винты?
I don't think I'd gain anything by using this here.
А еще что тебе дать, Дориан? Ключи от квартиры, где деньги лежат, тебе не нужны?
I don't see how I...
Осколок, блин, зуба.
Reminder of my clash with the soldiers, in case my memory fails me again.
Так, окей. По-моему... Да черт его знает, зачем бы был бы нужен осколок зуба. Я пока хочу попытаться... Я пропустил? Смотря с какого момента ты не смотришь. Минут 5? Тогда, наверное, ничего. Можно сказать, что я прям, ну, потерялся.
То
есть, Вот мы шли по
There's a bunch of papers.
этой самой, по красной нити нас вела игра, да, мы нашли адрес этой газеты, там получили карту канализации, в карте воспользовались картой канализации, нашли Сару, получили флешку, вернулись, ну это ты все видел, и все, и мы вернулись к тому, с чего мы начинали. У нас есть фотоаппарат, нам нужно сфоткать.
Why would I want to do something like that?
У нас нету пленки. И непонятно, где ее можно было бы... Даже теоретически нету у меня мыслей, где можно получить. Единственное, что вот я из последнего сделал, это я посмотрел на лужу крови, которая... Вот типа там был фонарик, и лужа крови, где нас избил солдат. И я там нашел осколок зуба.
I don't see why I would...
Все. А так я пробежался по разным локациям и ничего не нашел.
Unlike his neighbors, this door is hanging open. All I see inside are red... It looks like...
Да, это была первая же моя идея, и она не увенчалась успехом.
I don't see how... Remind...
Зуб не равно отвертка.
Better not. I'm an intruder in this building, and it's under the Army's control. Going down to the main hall of the hospital would be walking straight into the lion's den.
Кстати, свет выключился.
If, as the hunter says, fuel is the currency of the new world, there's a real fortune stored here. I'm not surprised that the Army has this place hidden and camouflaged.
Можем поюзать все на все. Чисто. Но не представляю, как могла бы сработать хоть что-то из этого. Как будто бы нужно кому-то отдать осколок зуба. Потому что все остальные... Давайте попробуем карту отдать охотнику. То, что как бы звучит как минимум логично. Что вот мы можем попросить охотника заняться погребением.
I needed to avoid getting lost in my subterranean expedition. I can't give it to anyone.
Ну фиг.
I'm not going to give it to anyone. Then I wouldn't have it anymore.
Да.
I think this object is too useful to give away. I'll make better use of it. I'm sure of that. I prefer to hold on.
Да вот нет.
No, I prefer to hold on to it. If only for its sentimental value.
Да мне кажется, что и зуб-то тоже это... фигня какая-то.
It doesn't seem... Unless this... I'm not gonna... I prefer to hold... I prefer... Rose already has enough lights hanging from the ceiling of her room. It doesn't seem like a... I needed to avoid... I'm not gonna... I'd rather the new... I prefer to...
Просто
I'd rather the new world
надо
was
двинуть
violent enough
ломом
without...
просто по Роуз, и тогда все будет хорошо.
There's makeup scattered at the foot of this mirror. I suppose the... Barf. I can see bed bugs crawling over. That explains...
Подсказки из зала, блин.
An enormous amount of paper and old junk piled up in a perfect state of disorder. The chaos in this trunk is unbelievable. What do we have here?
Если, Лёрис, ты пропустил
As one would
момент,
expect,
когда
there are only old
ноутбук
magazines,
доставал
stacks
приз,
of paper and outdated printing
он как раз
supplies
открыл
here.
этот
No,
сундук.
wait a minute. It looks like there's also film for instant cameras here.
И я что-то не подумал, что нужно самому порыскать
Perfect. Now I can load the camera.
в сундуке.
The tab that closes the film compartment is broken. I can't use it like this. I need something to hold it in place, or else the film will keep falling out.
Зубом.
I
Кекок.
can't believe it. The tooth fragment fits perfectly into the slot for the broken tab. Now I can close the film compartment.
Но забавно, что я вполне мог надолго зависнуть без зуба. Причем в ролике, который там был, там было наглядно показано, как у нас выбивают зуб. Но мне, типа, вот фонарик сразу привлек внимание, а зуб, ну, типа, на пятна крови мне вообще не пришло в голову посмотреть. Ладно, чё, фоткаем? Фоткаем, погнали.
Great. The circuit breaker I activated is tripped, and it's the only one that seems to work. It'll probably only hold for a little while. Let's take a look. Perfect.
Ну чё, наша победа. А для чего? Это мы сейчас получим для... У нас же уже есть батарейки. Уже это будут не батарейки. Это... Мы будем говорить с этим, с ребятенком. С ребятенком сейчас будем разговаривать. Пойду чайник поставлю, сейчас
I
вернусь.
brought what we agreed. Here's the photograph of the fuel depot.
Fantastic, Mike. Let's see what you've got there. This is incredible. Those pigs have been storing thousands of gallons of fuel, and all within our reach. With your ID, all we have to do is go into the compound, say, "Hello, boys," and bring it all back here. You've just made me very, very happy, dude. I knew I wasn't wrong about you.
Now you have to hold up your end of the bargain.
Yes, of course I will, Mike. You know I'm a man of my word. Besides, these are hard times, and we have to help one another, dude. I'll get Rod and his wife out of their trailer, so you can have a little time alone with the boy. You have my word, and my complete discretion.
But remember that you promised that we'd do it my way, quietly and with no violence. I don't want anybody getting hurt. I just need your men to distract his parents on some pretext for long enough for me to slip in there, okay?
Of course, Mike. You have my word that we'll only do what's necessary. Only what's strictly necessary. Give me a few minutes and then go to the trailer. Everything will be fine when you get there.
Okay, but before I go, can I ask you for something else?
Today you've been the bearer of the best possible news, dude. So shoot. I'll see what I can do.
Отвертку? Мне срочно нужен электрогенератор. В канализации солдат умерли по одному, чтобы это... Ну, наверное, про подругу.
Some soldiers murdered a friend of mine in the sewers. I need you to take care of her body.
Well, well, well. Murdered in the sewers. And what the hell was your friend doing there? Wait, don't answer. I've heard about that custom among some relatives of the sick. It means she was hiding a dissolved in the sewers. Or am I mistaken?
Yes, you're absolutely, totally, and completely wrong. I'm not gonna tell you what she was doing there. About her commitment to learning the truth, to changing things in the shithole left behind by the Great Wave, where you move around like a fish in water. You'd be incapable of understanding it. You couldn't even imagine making a sacrifice like that. Even I have a hard time imagining it.
It's none of your business.
Listen, Mike, you know what I think of those disease carriers and of the people who hide them. For everyone's sake, they all belong in the hands of the cleanup brigades. But you know what? Your intentions are good, giving a friend a decent burial. You're loyal to your friends, and I like that. Above all, you've got to be faithful. Loyalty is everything in this new world. So consider it done. I'll take care of it, dude.
Her body's in the sewer tunnel that comes out by the entrance to the camp.
Your friend will have a decent resting place. I give you my word.
Но электрогенератор,
I
он,
need
конечно,
an
скажет...
electric generator
Фиг.
urgently.
Hey, dude, calm down. I think you misinterpreted my offer. Since the Great Wave, a generator has become worth more than the lives of 100 people in this camp. Don't think I couldn't get you one. But the price will be so high that I can't imagine how you'll be able to pay me. I'm sorry, Mike.
But I just gave you access to thousands of gallons of fuel.
But those barrels aren't walking out of that place on their own. My men and I are going to have to risk our hides by going into the lion's den. I'm sorry, but the matter is closed. You should be going now. I've got to get the trailer sorted out. Give me a few minutes and then you can go there, okay? Adios, dude.
Ну шо ж, адиос. Я думаю, что мы можем сразу выступать туда, к трейлеру.
Wait a minute. What's that noise? Why is everyone fleeing? What's going on? The cleanup brigades are coming. And they're heading for Rod's trailer. God damn it! The hunters turned them in! That animal turns Colin and his family in!
No, he's not sick. It's a mistake. Don't take him away. It's all a misunderstanding.
It's just a question of minutes before those bastards break into the trailer and take the boy.
И что я должен сделать?
No, don't take him! Please!
Ну, бей окно, не знаю.
Now I understand why this window hasn't been cleaned. It gives Rod and his family some privacy without raising suspicions about the boy's illness. Besides, that glass looks pretty thick. The boy's cries can't be heard from outside.
Бей окно.
Okay, I've got to act fast. The noise the ambulance makes will cover the sound of the glass breaking.
In spite of the noise I made breaking the glass and the ambulance's deafening siren, little Colin seems to be asleep or in a trance.
Ну, а как с ним поговорить? Коробку надо стырить, конечно же.
Michael? Michael, is that you?
Yes, Colin. It's me. But how do you know my name?
Emily told me a lot about you. That's how I know you. She gave me a message. She said it was very important that I give it to you. What's all that noise outside, Michael? Where are my parents?
It's nothing, Colin. Your parents will be back very soon. Don't worry. But it's impossible for you to have spoken to Emily. She's no longer with us.
Yes, she is. Emily is always with me. When I go down the underground highways, she's there, waiting for me. Emily gave me a message, Michael. She told me it was something very, very important.
What is this message you have to give me that's so important?
She told me that she couldn't come back to be with us, that she will be trapped forever on the underground highways, and that the same thing will happen to me very soon. That's why she asked me to tell you that we're connected, Michael. She told me that you'd understand. We're connected, and it's very important for you to remember that.
Connected? What does that mean, Colin?
Да вот
Emily
Рилли.
told me there was a thread that no one can see that joins us to you, and that's why there's still a chance we can be saved. But that only you could do it, while there's still time. She told me that if we're connected, there's still some hope for us all. Can you make everything go back to the way it was, Michael? I don't want to be stuck on the underground highways forever. Can you really make everything go back the way it was, Michael?
We're connected? What does that mean? I don't understand anything.
This is all crazy.
Блин, вот же будет смех, если это тоже окажется сном собаки. Ну а чё, смотрите. Во-первых, нас регулярно гальмит. И мы видим другую реальность. Во-вторых, мы единственные, кто может что-то там решить, какую-то великую проблему.
The highways are very dark, and I don't want to go down there. They're too scary. There's no light, and they're full of ghosts. There are only shadows and voices down there. Everyone seems very sad and angry, and they tell me things I don't want to know, things I don't even understand. At first, I hid the whole time so they wouldn't find me, or I wandered around by myself for hours in the dark until I met Emily. Now I'm not so afraid of the underground highways, Michael, because she's always there.
Вот, и у нас явно еще была проблема с алкоголем, о чем нам показывали там и бутылку, и он в разговоре с женой говорил, что там типа всему виной демон. Я думаю, что это тоже было типа про алкоголизм. Поэтому вполне может оказаться, что мы тоже типа просто слетели с катушек, и это все наше больное воображение.
You say that Emily takes care of you? But how is that possible?
She protects me. She keeps me from feeling scared, because I used to be really scared. I didn't know what was happening to me. I didn't understand anything, but now with Emily by my side, everything is much better. She tells me that what's happening to me is normal, that I'm just sick, but that the sickness will go away soon. And that the pain will go away for good then, that she also got really scared when she got sick.
Emily told you that she also got sick?
Yes, she told me that she went through this before me, that a while back she got the same sickness I have. She told me that she felt very lonely too, and that the pain was unbearable, but that it finally ended. And that's why I shouldn't worry, that the pain and the fear will go away. She's very kind to me, Michael. She's very kind to everybody, isn't she?
Yes, Colin. Yes, she is.
Emily contracted the same disease. No, it can't be. Emily, a dissolved? Is that why they didn't let me see her body? Is that the reason for all the secrecy surrounding her death?
Michael, help me. It hurts so much. Make it stop.
Colin, what's happening?
Make it stop. Please.
И что, мне сейчас нужно завалить его из револьвера? Похоже, что не нужно.
Hey, get out of our way and let us do our job. No, don't go in there. I beg of you.
My son. My son.
Colin, no.
Приятно, братенечка.
Damn it. I can't breathe. If it's true that there's a way to change all this, I have to find it now.
I don't think I can stand it any longer. I don't think anyone can.
Ох, но мы стырили револьвер.
This revolver still has 2 bullets in the chamber. The ones Rod and his wife were saving for when Colin passed away. It's possible that by taking it, I've saved their lives, or, on the other hand, condemned them to go on living.
Обречем, так сказать, на жизнь.
Poor Colin. His fate was sealed long before I woke up. Where could Rod and his wife be? Truth is, I'd rather not know the answer. Forget it. I'm not going back into that room.
Ну и как бы возвращаться мы не хотим. Наверное, если бы мы не забрали револьвер, то мы могли бы вернуться. А может быть, мы не могли бы Колина добудиться, если не взяли револьвер. Ну окей. Что бы этот револьвер нам давал? Можно поугрожать бандитам?
No question. That pair of ruthless animals have it coming. But the hunter made it clear. If you touch a hair on their heads, you're a dead man.
Ну, можно пойти с охотником поругаться.
Hey, dude, back already? Nice to see you again around here. Your timing is perfect. So tell me, how did things go with the kid?
Ruthless bastard. You called the cleanup brigades.
Hey, calm down, Mike. Tone it down, okay? Of course I called the cleanup brigades. What did you expect? I was curious about your interest in the boy, so I did a little investigating on my own. My informants poked around Rod's trailer a little, and they discovered some things. Enough to find out how great a risk that kid and his disease represented to camp's safety. These are hard times, and we have to take care of each other, dude. It's our common responsibility. Besides, you already know what I think of those disease carriers, and the fools who protect them, Mike.
We agreed that we'd do things my way. We agreed that no one would get hurt.
No, dude. You're confused. I promised you I would do only what was strictly necessary to let you talk to the kid alone. And that's what I did. I made sure the soldiers gave you as much time as you needed to do whatever it was you had to do with that boy. Frankly, Mike, I don't understand why you're complaining.
You gotta do what you gotta do. Is that it?
Of course, Mike. You gotta do what you gotta do. And that's something you already know better than anyone. But now, sit down and have a drink with me. We got things to celebrate. Thanks to the photo you brought us, the plan to get our hands on that fuel at the medical center has been finalized. That depot holds more gasoline than we could ever have imagined in our wildest dreams. We're going over there in a few hours. Hey, Michael, today is turning out to be a great day, don't you think? One of the best I can remember.
No.
Нам
I'm
что-то
not going
тоже
to drink
надо
a
бы,
toast
да,
with you because I don't have anything to celebrate.
как-то им
You're a despicable animal.
сломать их планы.
Watch what you're saying, dude.
A pathetic, ignorant bastard. Garbage from the old world you were so happy to see swept away.
Watch out, Mike. I warned you not to disrespect me in my bar, in front of my men. Don't keep tempting fate.
Are you really offended? You're a vile insect with no morals. So God and the devil were good to you, you say? Open your eyes and look around, you paranoid worm, because you're nothing but a violent, drunken, demented psychopath, just like your father.
Turn off that music.
Turn off that music right now!
Да вообще не говорили, Орис. Прям.
Listen, Michael. There's already been too much commotion in the refugee camp, and more trouble is not in my interest. That's the only thing stopping me from tearing you limb from limb right here and now, and stashing your remains in one of those drums out there. But another word, and you're a dead man. Got it? One more word out of you, and I swear that tomorrow morning they'll find your stinking corpse so tangled up in the barbed wire that they'll have to chop you up to get you out of there. And I don't care where you hide or how far you run, because you know I'll find you in the end. Now get out of my sight.
Get out of my sight!
Здесь, кажется, нас больше не ждут.
This clandestine bar is now the lion's den. After our last conversation, if the hunter finds me inside, he won't hesitate to eliminate me on the spot.
Ну, скорее всего, больше тут там делать нечего. Хочется как-то бандитам навредить.
An enormous rusty tank designed to collect rainwater. Everything indicates that the Great Wave wiped out the concept of running water in one fell swoop. At least on this side of the
Умеешь
fence.
заводить друзей. Ну, что-то типа того.
I'm not going to shoot at that. I'd only waste a bullet. Besides, I don't have great faith in my aim.
То есть стрелять в цистерну, чтобы она разлилась на генератор, мы не хотим. Стрелять в бандитов. Может быть, мы теперь хотим пострелять в бандитов?
No heroics. Although these two... No question. But the...
Нет, не хотим. Здесь тоже нам делать нечего. Здесь тоже ничего не поменялось.
Prolonged contact with these animals would be detrimental to my health.
С часовыми разговаривать мы тоже не хотим. Ну, надо искать. Дай пистолет ребятишкам, ну-ка.
After what happened with the slingshot? No way. I'd only end up making them kill those two poor kids.
Сейчас глянем с тетей. Тетя вот здесь должна была быть. Тетя пропала.
Sarah's corpse is gone. At least that devious cockroach took her body away, like we agreed.
Можем эту славную новость донести до нашего друга?
Hello, Chris.
Michael, did you bring the generator?
Конечно!
No, I still
Вот,
haven't
смотри, у
found
меня
it.
полные руки
But I'm
без
working on it.
генератора.
If we want to find out the secrets in this report, we need electricity. Bring me the generator with sufficient fuel, and I'll give you the answers you need, Michael.
I'll do it.
But hurry. Time is running out.
Его ничего не интересует.
After the Great Wave, this device is a real archaeological artifact from the old world, like an ancient coin or a dinosaur bone. It looks like it's in good shape, except for one thing. There's nowhere to plug it in.
Забрать ноут мы не можем.
Oh, I feel, but I can't. I feel, but I
Посиди на кресле.
but I beat up, but it looks. Now that I've taken the film out, there's only pay. I'll cut. Some of these. It looks.
Это я все уже смотрел. Значит, здесь делать нечего. Ну, в теории сейчас должны напасть на... на этот центр, ну, на склад. Но пока не нападают. Можем свет включить? Чтобы их спалить. Здесь ничего не происходит. В теории-то мы могли бы сфоткать это и воспользоваться. Типа шантажировать. Кроме револьвера у нас не появилось ничего.
It's the device the cleanup brigades use to navigate during their raids. Sort of an electronic map. It looks like some... I just have...
Ну, не стрелять же нам в... Оп, а нет. Показалось, как будто бы задник сорвался.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Но вот осталась вот эта балка дурацкая. Здесь ничего я не вижу. Крысу стрелять. Да, вроде активных-то нету крыс, которых можно было бы пострелять. В замок можно выстрелить, попробовать. Чисто теоретически. Вот в этот.
This house already has an owner. Let's leave things the way they are.
Ну, вроде это никому не надо. Криса можно выстрелить. Но тоже сомнительно. Где еще как будто бы какое-то место, куда можно было бы попасть? Бах, 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 бах. Там мы бы... Там, типа... На самом деле... Не в Криса, а в крысу.
There's a very familiar... It's a... I don't get what the... There's a very... It's a... I don't... What the...
Тут как бы ничего.
Sarah's corpse.
Ничего не появилось нового.
They wouldn't be of any use to me. These bullets have already been fired.
Гильза. Водопад.
That skylight leading to the outside is the only lighting in this place. The combination of the architecture, light and water, give this place an unearthly appearance. It looks like a cathedral built inside the sewers.
Обалдеть. От толку. Я думал, что мы сейчас что-то найдем. Ну, пока нет идей.
Fifth Avenue.
Тут мы, честно говоря, все сделали уже, что могли. Ну, вряд ли мы хотим пострелять в часовых.
And they're well trained. I'd barely have time to take out the gun before they blew my head off without a second thought.
Ну, я тоже так подумал. Но нам нужно, чтобы они свалили. Перемотать время как-то нужно. У меня пока не очень есть идеи, как можно перемотать время. Убить Роузи?
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead. Have you come to help us?
I don't know whether who I was before the Great Wave entitles me to make any kind of moral judgments. But what I do know is that the Hunter and his men are a real cancer in this new world, which is the only thing that really counts right now. The girl has a right to defend herself, that bastard said. So someone should give her the chance.
А, не убить, а дать ей револьвер.
Right? I can't get you out of here, Rose. I'm sorry. You're the only one that can do it.
Thank you.
As she was picking up the revolver, she gave me a look of determination that I didn't know she had in her.
Rose acted so quickly that I barely saw what happened through the crack in the door of her van. Her hand was steady, even when the second man begged for his life, sobbing and groveling on the floor. The bullet went right through his heart. Blood splattered all over her white dress. And then she let the revolver drop and sat down, lost in her own world. And she didn't do or say anything else, holed up in her tiny, delirious inner landscape. There she had everything she could ever need, safe at last from the new world, which she will probably never return to.
Причем сам-то стрелять не стал. Тупо подставил Роуз.
No, the water turned the generator into an enormous hunk of scrap metal. Why would I want to take it with me in this condition?
Так возьми, дальше разберемся.
What the hell? Another one of those repeating images. Of those damn time loops.
No. Rose. No, don't do it. No!
It's Rose, killing her captors again.
But there's something in this one that makes it different. It feels more real and more intense than the other times.
The tank doesn't have any leaks, so no water dripped onto it. It's incredible. But the generator is working again. Damn it. It's taking too long to disconnect the cables that connect the generator to the trailer. I won't be able to grab it before the water ruins it.
Чё, блин, происходит?
No. Wow.
И как нам снова до...
There's no point in bother. After what happened.
Зря видео выбросил. Да я думаю, что мы как раз сейчас черный пакет натянем на генератор, и все будет ок.
No. Wow.
Монеты собери. Но монеты лишними не будут, конечно.
Seeing the current condition of the players, I doubt anyone will ever play cards on that table again.
Так, а мы можем еще-то раз ифануть? Выйти и войти как надо?
Damn it. I'm afraid those bastards just played their last hand. I can't even... It's Rod's old revolver and the smell of... I'm not gonna pick up that revolver. It's Rose. I'm afraid she's...
No.
These one... No. Why would I want to...
А еще пускай бар? Но вообще-то нет. Давай, гальми. Да в смысле? Во.
No. Rose. No, don't do it. No.
Да в смысле?
Damn it. It's taking... I won't be able to grab it before the water ruins it. Damn it. I wasn't able to save it. I can only cover half the generator with this.
Что он же только половину успел? Там было миллиард времени. Что было, не расправить? Плакатом накрыть остаток? Гальми.
No. Rose. No, don't do it.
This... The tank doesn't have...
No!
It doesn't look like...
Ну, как будто нужно что-то еще, да?
Damn it. I won't... Damn it.
Как будто бы надо что-то еще. У нас есть...
There are a few lousy coins. They don't look like they're worth much. Just a few loose pennies.
Какие-то монетки.
This clandestine...
Туда нас не пускают. Здесь ничего нет. Мы с вами, в принципе, видели брезент в городе. Мы знаем, что нам нужно. Задник нам нужен. Да. Нам нужен задник. Ну и разве что монетками откручивать.
Let's see. The coins fit perfectly in the heads of the screws. It'll be no trouble loosening them and taking the fabric with me.
Хорошо. Ну, погнали. Врубай глюки. Задник раз.
No. Rose. No, don't
Пакет
do it.
2.
No.
И можем спокойненько забирать генератор. Легчайший генератор в моей жизни, на самом деле. Я что-то помню миллион игр, в которых нужно было генератор стырить. И там всегда было посложнее. И прям, главное, упаковали его себе в этот в кармашек. Карманненький такой. Но и теперь у нас будет проблема.
Great, Michael. I knew you could do it. Give me a few minutes to set up the computer and open the report.
While Chris was getting everything ready, I decided to sit down in one of the armchairs in the office. I was exhausted. My mind had been trying to make sense of the last few hours of my life for what seemed like an eternity. The first hours following my bitter birth in this new world. But how could I judge the new world if I could barely remember the old one? The only thing I was sure of was that we had lost something very valuable along the way. The photograph of our life, overnight, had turned into a dark, blurry, sepia-tinted image. All of civilization had drowned under the Great Wave, and the only thing left on the beach were its remains. But no, I was fooling myself. I was already lost before the catastrophe. To tell the truth, all the other victims of the Great Wave had been luckier than me. They still dreamed of returning to their lives. Mine had already been broken a long time ago. Did I really stand a chance of recovering something I'd already lost forever? What type of strength, what type of miracle could ever give me that second chance?
Michael, wake up!
What's happening?
The report, Michael. It's the report. I was going over it while you were sleeping. It's incredible. It's way beyond our expectations. You're gonna think I've gone crazy, but I don't even know where to start.
How about at the beginning?
Okay. It's the dead synchronicity point. The entire universe is changing, and we're going to witness it. We're going to be witnesses. And victims.
Witnesses? Victims? But what the hell are you talking about? What is this dead synchronicity point?
It's hard to explain. You're a photographer, so I'll try this analogy. Imagine a person's life chronicled in photographs. Up to now, and according to the rules that governed our universe, we were all subject to certain very specific temporal rules. Past, present, and future. That's all there was to it. So, the first thing we'd find would be a photo of the person as a newborn, then another on the person's 6th birthday, then another in college, and so on.
Я вот уже тоже начинаю засыпать.
Photos of the person's wedding, children, old age, death. All in logical, linear, chronological order. Since our universe is conceived along a single line that starts in the past, makes a stopover in the present, and then projects into the future. Do you follow me?
Нет, я не слушаю уже.
Well, imagine now that this entire temporal architecture crumbles, falls apart, dissolves. Imagine that something or someone has altered the foundations of our universe, changing the rules of the game, forever annihilating our idea of time. The concepts of past, present, and future.
I think you just lost me, Chris.
Then let me continue with the metaphor of the photographs. Imagine now that a card dealer takes all these snapshots that sum up the life of this person, shuffles them, and places them in a stack in one spot on the card table. What would we have then? There would no longer be a chronological line, Michael.
Benjamin Button получается или что?
Present or future. Each of the individual events captured in these photographs, they would all be happening simultaneously at the exact same point in time. And that point we would call...
the dead synchronicity point.
Exactly. Now our world is abandoning its old physical laws and getting closer to that dead synchronicity point where time no longer exists. And therefore, all the phenomena and events that happened or will happen in the universe will start to be stacked on top of other ones, like the photographs in the dealer's deck.
That sounds crazy. How credible do you think this report is?
Completely, Michael. The dead synchronicity point is a fact, and the worst thing is that we're approaching it faster and faster. It'll only be a matter of days, at best maybe a few weeks, before the universe enters this new state. Time is ending, in every sense.
And what does all this have to do with us?
Come on, do you still not see it? This change in the architecture of the universe, this nullification of time, is the real origin of the Great Wave, the dissolved, and the emergence of the new world.
Значит, великую волну вызвало приближение к точке, и какое отношение ко всему во время нашей прошлой встречи ты сказал? Вот выход.
So, the Great Wave was caused by this approach to the dead synchronicity point?
Yes, Michael. The Great Wave was the first manifestation of our universe's approach to the dead synchronicity point. That's why the catastrophe struck at the same time all over the planet. It wasn't just a local occurrence. It had global dimensions. It was the first clear and obvious sign that something was going wrong. And it brought chaos and misery to the world, as you've been seeing yourself since you woke up.
And what the hell do the dissolved have to do with all this?
According to the report, the dissolved are still a big mystery. There isn't much information about them or their disease. What we do know is that they are people who are especially sensitive to the dead synchronicity point. And that is what's so tragic about them.
Especially sensitive?
Of course. This transformation, this radical and overwhelming change in the basic structure of the universe is totally incompatible with human life. We're condemned to die, Michael, each and every one of us.
That's terrible. How can you be so sure of that?
If you think about it rationally, it's obvious. Our bodies are the product of hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, of a gradual and precarious adaptation to the environment, the universe, and its physical laws. Reaching the dead synchronicity point, the annihilation of time, we'd need another 100,000 years to adapt to such a drastic change. And what do you think will happen to the human race, to each and every one of us when this process concludes? I'll tell you. Our primary metabolism will go into a state of shock. Our entire cell structure will be jolted so profoundly and so violently that what we now call our bodies will lose all coherence, leaving behind just a brown puddle as evidence of our existence.
We'll dissolve, like those poor sick people.
Indeed. According to the report, the dissolved are simply pioneers, people who are ahead of their time. The vanguard of the human race in its final extinction. That's why some cases started cropping up so early, even before the Great Wave. Their illness was the harbinger of the enormous explosion that was to follow. It preceded it by hours, even days. And that's why the cases are multiplying exponentially as we get closer to the end. Do you understand? We'll all end up turning into dissolved.
The last time we spoke, you told me that there could be a solution. A way to reverse all this madness.
Yes, and that's the best part of the report. Theoretically, Michael, and paradoxical as it may sound, our progress toward the dead synchronicity point also brings the opportunity to change things, to turn the process around and return to where we were before our world collapsed.
And how would that be possible?
By penetrating the very center of the anomaly, the deepest nucleus of dead synchronicity, and arriving at the point where time is just starting to fold back into itself before the process is completed. If, inside the dead synchronicity point, each and every one of the events that have happened or will happen in the universe unfold, then surely it must be possible to gain access to the moment when something or someone triggered the catastrophe and stop it.
I can't believe what I'm hearing. You're talking about time travel.
Yes, I'm talking about the possibility of accessing the past to save our present and our future, of turning the Great Wave and all its consequences into a mere nightmare that never actually happened. The report talks about the hypothetical existence of a door leading into the very heart of the dead synchronicity point, a door to each and every one of the snapshots of the past, present, and future of our universe. And if, through that door, we had a chance to access the precise instant when everything went haywire, then we might be able to change things. Michael, that's what we've got to focus on in whatever time we have left. But I have to continue studying this report. I'm sure there are more answers in it, and you have got to help me.
You're telling me that the dead synchronicity point is the origin of all this chaos? That our only chance of salvation is a theoretical journey to the past? Or sooner or later we'll all be obliterated? Like those poor dissolved?
That's right, Michael. So we'd better get to work on it as soon as possible. By the way, the report also mentions another very interesting thing about the dissolved.
What is it?
It seems that in their trances, through their trips to the underground highways, the sick form a strange relationship with each other. It's as if the disease unites them, regardless of any physical distance that might separate them. The report is very unclear on this point, but it seems as if the dissolved are somehow linked.
Full story, блин, не то слово.
Oh my God. That can't be.
Ну, мне все больше и больше кажется, что дело во сне собаки.
Everything makes sense.
Please. Enough. My head.
Emily asked me to tell you that we're connected, Michael. We're connected.
Michael, what's going on?
Chris, get one of those tests ready. Fast.
But what for? You don't think that you're also...
Do as I say.
Okay. Give me your hand. It's positive. Michael, you're sick. You're a dissolved.
No. That can't be. No. No!
Michael. Michael. Wake up.
Emily? Emily, is that you?
Please, Michael, wake up. Wake up.
У меня же глаз задергался.
Where am I?
Yes, Michael. It's me. You are on the underground highways.
А, это конец? Ну что ж. На самом деле, по-моему, уже есть продолжение. Если мне ничего... Ну, мне так, по всякому случаю, показалось. Я когда сегодня выбирал игру, то Twitch мне предлагал еще одну часть. Поэтому вполне может быть, что вторая часть уже вышла. А всего, по-моему, будет 3 части по этой игре. О, ну, типа, 3 части этой игры. Ну, в целом, в лучших традициях Японии. Сюжет хорош. Сюжет есть, сюжет интересный. Геймплей хорош. визуал красивый у игры. Несколько вот таких вот моментов, конечно, было тяжелых. Но с вами, как всегда, приятно проходить игры. Одно. Да, а чё, красиво, симпатичненько, не пиксельно. Симпатичная же рисовка. Приятная. Но имеет только одна часть. Странно. Ну, если просто, братюнь, ты из-за кровавых ошметок нервничаешь, ну, блин, кровавые ошметки были довольно реалистичные, и мне кажется, это тоже скорее плюс, чем минус. То есть, если это вызывает эмоции, даже негативные, то это плюс. В НВ зайди. Но это же совершенно разные вещи. НВ это 3D, НВ это... совершенно другая игра. Там, наверное, и бюджеты другие. И это же все-таки point and click. Ну, это же совсем другая штука. И я знаю, что в point and click'ах тоже есть с более лучшей графикой игры. Между прочим, скоро Сибирь выходит. Новая. А у меня старые не пройдены. У меня, кстати, к вам вопрос. Я первую Сибирь проходил, вторую не допрошел чуть-чуть. Если я забью на первые две части и с вами вместе пройду третью, ничего страшного? Я все равно, я так понимаю, что культовая же третья часть. А первые две так, проходные. Вообще не в тени по Сибири, блин, тогда придется сначала проходить. Кто такие бэкерс? Это типа вот все те, кто накидали... Слушай, что... Ой, ну ты кумяка, ну нельзя быть таким... Скажите мне, бэкерс это все те, кто задонатил денег на игру? Или я неправильно понимаю? Если ты мне расскажешь по лору, то проходи третью. Да, в общем-то и целом, наверное, могу рассказать по лору. Ну, у меня, честно говоря, нет желания перепроходить первые две части. Не, мне с одной стороны хочется закончить вторую, но я там, по-моему, на последней главе, это будет странно, если я просто, типа, запущу последнюю главу. Нет, ну у меня есть некоторые квестики, которые я люблю перепроходить. Там то же самое Лимбо я перепроходил с большим удовольствием. Тот же самый Машинариум я уже несколько раз проходил. Причем, по-моему, 3 раза я его уже проходил. И каждый раз с удовольствием. Ну, с перерывами там несколько лет. Что-то забывается. Что-то, ну... Там Машинариум просто приятная... Опять же, очень-очень хорошая, красивая картинка. С прекрасным саундтреком, и ты играешь, получаешь удовольствие. У меня во всех квестах на самом деле бывает несколько затыков. Даже если я перепрохожу, то я все равно как бы несколько затыков как были, так и остались. Нет, конечно, то, где ты долго сидел и мучился, оно запоминается и в следующий раз быстрее проходится. Ну а тут тупишь на каком-нибудь другом месте, которое случайно тебе легко далось при другом прохождении. Не, ну прикольно. Но не Monkey Island? Да не знаю. Monkey Island? Ты так говоришь, как будто Monkey Island это единственный олдскульный квест тяжелый. Мне кажется, сейчас любой квест запусти старый, и будет очень тяжело. Я же говорю, мы можем попробовать. По-моему, Space Quest'ы все вышли. Что ж ты там всего запомнишь? Да тоже, наверное, нет. Ну не запомнишь. Но я же говорю, что типа точно так же любой квест старый взять, и там везде будет прям тяжко. Мне почему-то еще все время вспоминается, когда вот мы начинаем про старые квесты говорить, у нас в школе, на школьных компах была игрушка Goblins. И мы вот, типа, в конце информатики у нас оставалось там 5 минут, и нам разрешали поиграть. И вот мы, типа, все время 5 минут долбили гоблинов с самого начала. И было забавно, что там... То ты что-то забываешь, как там что-то проходит. Очень было тяжело в начале понять вообще, что происходит в игре. Ну, это, видишь, это все некие бэкерс. Я так понимаю, что это все донатеры. Видимо, на каком-то краудфандинге была запущена игруля. И это все народ, который, видимо, вдонатил в игру. Но, слушайте, на самом деле, даже вот эта первая часть, она довольно длинная получилась. По-моему, по моим подсчетам, мы играли около 7 часов. Ну или 6, типа 6,5. Странной длины были главы. Почему-то была очень длинная вторая глава и очень короткая третья. Я вышел в 2015-м, что-то долго. Вторая часть уходит. А чё, нету в интернете никакой инфы? Потому что почему-то Twitch-то говорит, что есть уже вторая часть. Во всяком случае, когда вот я выбирал игру, там уже была какое-то еще название было. Может, они просто не вышли в Стиме? Или это маловероятно? Короче, все обсудили, кроме игры. Игре, я думаю, что можно смело давать там 7 из 10, точно. Может, ну, типа, не знаю насчет 8. 8 слишком близко к 10. А вот 7-то точно можно давать. В Steam с похожим названием, только саундтрек. Когда Steam по Surviving the Aftermath? А я не знаю, что это за игра. Она интересная, ее будет интересно смотреть на стриме. Она бесплатная? Или стоит до 500 рублей? У меня просто есть миллион купленных игр, которые я хочу поиграть на стриме. И я не очень понимаю, есть ли смысл покупать Surviving the Aftermath, если он будет там стоить какие-нибудь 1500-2000 рублей, чтобы поиграть в него 5 часов. И подушиться. Ну, то есть тут вопрос в том... Типа, есть ли в этом смысл? Свежий релиз, хайп релиза, все дела. А мы вроде не особо-то за хайпом гонимся, честно-то говоря. Я, например, уж если говорить про релиз и хайп, с большим удовольствием поиграл бы в Super Limital. Я его как раз уже купил. И готов в него поиграть. Я думаю, что мы завтра будем в него играть. Не очень я понимаю, что имеется в виду вот в этой ачивке. Calm down, death is just a change of skin. То есть здесь было важно, почему-то очень маленький процент, как будто бы только Лиорису пришла идея, ну, типа, 18% вместе с Лиорисом пришла идея поместить в мешок девочку. Нет, я говорю, что я хочу... Где он? Вот эта игра недавно вышла. И она должна быть клевой. Это прям головоломка, и мне очень понравились. Я ее мельком видел, когда она еще даже не релизнулась. А релизнулась она вроде недавно. Да, 5 ноября. Майл Трейл отписался. Вот, а здесь как бы положительные эти самые комментарии. А мы что там Survive? Surviving the Aftermath. Ну да, 1100 рублей. Выживите и приведите к процветанию в постапокалиптическом мире будущего, где кто-то... Это Цива, что ли? Как-то здесь на Циву похоже. Здесь уже не похоже на Циву. Здесь уже на какой-то SimCity похоже. А трейлер вообще похож на какой-то first person shooter. На какой-то Rust. Да не, ну поиграть-то можно, но за косарь, наверное, нет. Я уж лучше в Duskers поиграю, который я уже купил. Ну, в смысле, я просто не понимаю, зачем мне играть Surviving the Aftermath, когда Duskers не пройдены. Я вот думаю, что надо Tower Master удалять и добавлять в пройденные. Даскерс-то ждут своего часа. Между прочим, я их купил-то уже 100 лет назад. Вот тут как раз нам будет, да, и визуал, и все, что мы любим. Люблю вот эту вот последовательность у братюни. Но очень положительные отзывы, как бы все. Готовьтесь. Готовьтесь к марафону по Даскерс. Я думаю, что вот завтра мы еще поиграем в Super Limital, а дальше начнем в Даскерс играть. Пока весь не пройдем, не успокоимся. Так что и ищите мануалы, будете мне подсказывать, что делать. На сегодня будем заканчивать. Вроде как рановато. Но, с другой стороны, уже 12 часов, и мы так удачно с вами закончили игру. Так что не скучайте. Завтра я вернусь. Я думаю, что где-то около 9:30. Всего вам самого лучшего. Пройди туториал в Даскерс. Сейчас, что ли? Но он же, небось, быстрый. Ну, спать-то вообще это немаловажная часть. Игру поменяю. Ты, между прочим, модератор и можешь сам менять игру. А я сейчас куда-нибудь полезу, и у меня все сломается. Вот как там было Dead Scene? Вот, The Longest Night. Как будто бы уже есть вторая часть. Я вот об этом говорил. Дрон-оператор тренинг. Сюда. Welcome to drone operator training. Use arrow keys to pilot drone 1. Press 2 to switch to drone 2. Press space to switch a schematical view of the ship. Currently the derelict ship is unexplored, so you only see your ship's docking bay. Type open A1 or just A1, then enter to open airlock. Now press space to switch back to drone view. Pilot the drone into the derelict ship through airlock. You found a power inlet. Notice how drone 2 has a generator in its list of upgrades, upper left corner of the screen. А, вот у этого монитор и газер, а у этого generator. Type generator. Generator activated. View newly powered areas in schematic view. You can now operate the newly powered doors, however never open doors to unknown rooms. Notice D4 is open. Type navigate 1 R3 to send drone 1 to room 3. Navigate 1 R3. Press 1 to switch to drone 1 to view. There's the room 3. Fuel access point. You found a fuel access point. Has gather upgrade. Собирайте gather и собирайте. Let's see if room 4 is safe. Drone 1 has a monitor sensor upgrade. Switch to the schematic view and type motion. The red indicator in room 4 means badness is in there. Let's see if we can herd them out of room 4. Press pilot drone 1 back to room 2. Navigate 1 room 2. Now let's try herding the enemy from room 2. From room 4 to room 3. In schematic view, use the motion sensor. Type D4 to close door 4, then D5 to open 5. И когда он перелез, то мы закрываем 5. Now it's safe to open door room 2. Navigate 1 R4. Use the motion sensor to see if the room on the other side is safe. Now it's safe to open door 3 and explore the room on the other side. Там какая-то халява. A destroyed drone. Drive up to it and then type the command swap to loot its upgrades. Press escape to close swap window when you're done. Там есть некий люр. Ctrl плюс Enter, Quick Swap, Enter, Swap Highlight. Ethan. Между прочим, там был. Switch back to schematic view. Look like there's no more ship to explore. To leave, let's try a single navigate command to simultaneously send both drones back to docking bay. Single navigate command. Не понял. Ну, в смысле, мне нужно обоих отправить в R1. Last thing, you can use help to browse commands and help or help on particular command. Type exit to return to your mothership and end the tutorial. Ну, получается, гений оператор. Мне кажется, справляюсь. Ладно, на сегодня будем заканчивать. А ты как будто бы сомневался, что я смогу играть. Ладно, будем заканчивать. Давайте, до скорых новых встреч. До завтрачка. Завтра в Суперлимитал будем играть. Не скучайте.